The Lion and the Jewel, which talks about tradition and modernity, and the fight between the two, which talks about two men and the fight between them for one girl. That is what The Lion and Jewel will be all about. It is a drama and a comedy. Written by Vole Soyinka, performed in the year 1959 and published in print in the year 1962. Look at Vole on the screen. Born in 1934, he is aged 89 presently, and he is an awesome Nigerian playwright, right? The setting of this play, The Lion and the Jewel, is Ilujinile. Ilujinile, remember the name of this village? It's a rural Nigerian village, and the year of this play is late 1950s. This play, The Lion and the Jewel, as I told you, depicts the difficult relationship between traditional Nigerian culture and Western modernization. Okay. Now, the play is divided into three parts or three time spans of the day: morning, noon, and night. Let's start with morning. Sidi, she's the protagonist of the story. Please remember her. Sidi, Sidi, Sidi. Sidi is the most beautiful girl in her village, Ilujinile, in Nigeria. She is called the Jewel of Ilujinile, and she revels in her beauty. She takes pride in her gorgeousness. Lakune is the young school teacher in this village of Ilujinle. He was educated in Lagos in a British school, which results in his weird grasp of English language as well as modernization. You should know Lagos was a major port city which saw Western influence from 16th century onwards. In fact, it became the capital of British-ruled Nigeria in the year 1901. And the Britishers promoted public work projects in Lagos like railways, roadways. They did everything to modernize Lagos. So whoever stayed in Lagos considered themselves to be westernized, to be modern, as compared to the traditional African people who were living in the villages. Did you understand? So now Lakune has studied in Lagos. So he thinks of himself to be very superior as compared to his own villagers, right? Easy? Now, Lakune considers the villagers dumb while he wants to civilize them and also have a modern wife. What is the meaning of modern wife according to Lakune? Someone who does not wear the traditional African attire, someone who is in a jeans, wears lipsticks, wears heels, someone who acts like his equal. But no, it's all hypocrisy. Lakune says in the play that women are less intelligent than men. Then how is he saying that he wants a wife equal to him if those are his views? We'll know more about Lakune as the play progresses. Let's move ahead. Lakune's love interest lies in this gorgeous girl, Sidi, who does not reciprocate his feelings. No. At the start of the play, we see that Sidi is entering the village square, okay? So the main area of the square with a pail of water balanced on her head. She's wearing the traditional African attire, which exposes her shoulder. I'm sure you've seen the African ladies, they wear this attire, okay? So it's like, their entire shoulders visible. We can call it an off-shoulder dress. Now, Lakune looks very angrily, at Sidi and says, again, lines in italics are from the book. So these lines are from the book, from the play itself. Lakune says to Sidi, you could wear anything most modest women do, but you, no, you must run around naked in the streets. Does it not worry you? The bad names, the lewd jokes, the tongue-licking noises which girls uncovered like you draw after them? Did you understand what he's saying? That you have the choice to wear modest clothes, but you have chosen to wear these half-naked clothes because of which men tease you, okay, and pass dirty jokes on you. Listening to this, Sidi also replies, is it Sidi who makes the men choke in their cups, or you with your big loud words and no meaning? Here, let me tell you, he's half-educated. This school teacher, Lakune, is actually half-educated. He uses English just to impress others in a village where people don't really appreciate English. They find his English very weird, which in reality is weird, okay? So Sidi is saying that your words, your big loud words, they make no meaning. And that is what makes men choke in their cups and not my dressing. Now, after this, Lakune tries to woo Siddhi with his flowery language, right? The theme of language, as I told you, language is used very often, maybe in a weird manner, in not the correct manner, but language plays an important role in this play. So Lakune says, wasted, wasted. Siddhi, my heart bursts into flowers with my love. But you and the dead of this village trample it with feet of ignorance. He calls the living people of the village as dead. He calls Siddhi as the bush girl. He calls everyone ignorant other than him. Okay. Now, Siddhi confirms that the villagers considered Lakune a madman. All the villagers consider Lakune a madman. To which he retaliates by saying, for that, what is a jewel to a pig? So he's calling himself the jewel and he's calling the villagers the pigs. Did you understand? He says that soon the village of Ilujinle will have machines and automations, industries, just like the city of Lagos. It will have railway line, it will have improved roads. Then he describes the beauty, modernity, and highness of Lagos while criticizing the customs and traditions of their village Ilujinle. Siddhi says, well, go there then. Go to these places where women would understand you if you told them of your plans with which you oppress me daily. Lakune refuses to hand over her pail of water. Okay, she's saying, return me my pail. He says, no. He kisses her, to which she gets disgusted. And he says this is very common, in high society. It's very common in Western culture. A man can kiss a woman. She says, no, 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 you can't do that. She asks for the pail of water. He does not return. He says, tell me you will marry me. Only then I will give you this pail of water. Angrily, she agrees on one condition. She says, okay, I will marry you, Lakune, only if you pay the bride price. Now, this is a very interesting custom in Africa. It was. So when the bride and the groom married, the groom had to pay some money or some, lot of gifts and money to the bride's family. Okay. This is the opposite of what we usually see, which India is definitely accused of having, the dowry, which we call. So this is like opposite dowry. The man has to give dowry to the woman's family. And this is what is called as bride price. Okay. So Siddhi says to Lakune, I will marry you only if you pay the bride price to me. Give me money, my family money, and then I will marry you. Lakune hates this custom of bride price. He says, lines from the story, a savage custom, barbaric, outdated, rejected, denounced, accursed, excommunicated, remarkable, unpalatable. He called it remarkable and excommunicated. Did you understand? He does not know proper English at all. Then he says, ignorant girl, can you not understand? To pay the price would be to buy a heifer off the market stall. Heifer is like a female cow who has not given birth yet. So heifer. He says that if I'll pay a bride price to you, it will be like I'm buying a heifer from a market stall. Now, Siddhi wonders that, what kind of a woman this boy wants. He wants that I should wear lipstick, high heels, and that will make me his equal. But no, I don't think it will make me his equal. I will still remain an object of desire for this man. Okay. Now, after this, a group of young villagers enter the village square and they tell Siddhi a very, very good news. The stranger has come back with the magazine. Who is this stranger? What is this magazine? I will tell you. The magazine that the stranger brings to Ilujinle features photographs of the village and its residents. As promised, it illuminates Siddhi's beauty by showing her images in 3 full pages and at the same time insulting Baroka by including only a small picture of him to a latrine, close to a latrine. Understand? Before the play began, there was a stranger who visited the village of Ilujinle. He captured few photographs with his camera and he looked at Siddhi. He was mesmerized by her beauty and he told her that, Siddhi, I will bring a magazine to this village in which I will feature your photographs beautifully. So now that magazine has arrived, and as the stranger promised, as this stranger photographer promised, Believe me, it consisted of 3 full pages with Sidi on them. Oh, Sidi looks beautiful. Whereas Baroka is seen in a very small picture next to a latrine. Sidi declares that she's more powerful than Baroka and has no reason to marry Lakune. Now you will be wondering, who is Baroka? Hina, who is Baroka? You should know him. He is the strongest man of village Ilujinle. He is 62 years old. He is the Bale or the village chief of Ilujinle. He is known as the lion and the fox around. Lion because of his strength and sexual prowess. Fox because of his cunning tricks and mannerisms. He marries a new wife every few months. He has concubines. He is known for his nasty attitude. He breaks down people's unions. He does not want modernism to enter his village. He is happy in a leisurely life. He is oppressive. He is Baroka or the Bale of village Ilujinle. Did you understand? Yes, you did. Now, after the magazine arrives, Sidi is very happy. She tells the villagers that let's perform a dance. You know it. Dancing is the most famous leisure recreation in African society. Whatever happens, let's dance. So now they perform a dance called as the Lost Traveler. This traveler is basically the stranger, okay? In this, the villagers force Lakune to act like the stranger. How? They utter these words. You are dressed like him. You look like him. You speak his tongue. You're just as clumsy in your Lagos ways. You will do for him. You become the stranger. Do you understand how the villagers consider Lakune as a foreigner and not a part of their community? So reluctantly, he does join in the dance. After this, Baroka, the Bale or the head of the village, enters. He also joins the dance, and the villagers pay their respect by kneeling down, bending down, bowing down to him. Now, Sidi looks beautiful in the magazine. Baroka sees the magazine. Oh, Sidi is illuminating. She's sparkling, and Baroka muses that I haven't taken a wife in few months. It's been a long time I haven't taken a wife. This takes us to the next part of the play, which is noon. We are done with the morning. Now, noon time. Sidi and Lakune are walking down the road. Sidi is gazing at her photographs in the magazine. She cannot take her eyes off. She's only looking at her beauty. This magazine has manifolded. It has actually multiplied her beauty. People around are now looking at, oh, how beautiful Sidi is. Oh, she's become famous all of a sudden, right? Now, someone enters and greets them. Who is this someone? She is Sadiku. Who is Sadiku? I will tell you. Sadiku is Baroka's first wife. She is very loyal to her husband and she acts as a matchmaker to find him new brides and concubines. Imagine. She does it in a very bossy manner. I'm going to find a new wife for my husband. Oh, are you good? What traits you have? How can you become a good wife to my husband? Culture and tradition, boss. She has come as a messenger of Baroka. She tells Sidi that Baroka wants to marry Sidi. And to this, Sidi laughs. Will I marry that old man? Lakune gets angry while praising Sidi by giving her some biblical names. You know, again, the Western influence, names from Bible. To which Sidi insists that Lakune uses her real name. She says, my name is Sidi and I am beautiful. The stranger took my beauty and placed it in my hands, which means the stranger photographed me and put it in this magazine, and this magazine is in my hands. Sidi refuses Baroka's marriage proposal and calls him old and leathery. Sadiku leaves. She is shocked, but nonetheless, she invites Sidi for a feast, for a dinner at their house that night. Lakune calls Baroka the fox. Why? Because he did not let a railway line pass Ilujinle, as he is afraid of bringing modernization to Ilujinle. This is also an important theme in the novel, okay? Tradition versus modernity. Basically, Ilujinle is a very traditional village and Lakune wants railway line. Lakune wants modern things to enter here. But being the head of the village that Baroka is, he's not letting anybody enter. He even did not let a railway line cross, nearby Ilujinle. He wants civilization to be far away from his village. Sadiku tells Baroka all this, that, Sidi has refused your marriage proposal. Sidi does not want to be the head of the village. She has refused your marriage proposal. You are so powerful. And this disturbs Baroka. He is hurt. his pride is hurt. Now, look at this scene, okay? He orders Sadiku to massage his feet, while his favorite other wife, who is his favorite, plucks his hair from his armpit. After a while, he smiles. This fox is thinking something. Sly fox is thinking something. He smiles, that wicked, crooked smile, and he tells his wives, "It is good that Siddhi does not want to marry me because my manhood ended a week ago." Can you imagine? He tells his wives that he's no more manly, his sexual power is gone, and he tells his wives to keep this a secret. Why? Because he knows they will not keep it a secret. This news thrills Sadiku. She feels that she has scorched her husband. Scorched means she has outlived her husband. Her husband has become old, her husband has been defeated, and she has scored a victory for all women over men. Did you understand? Here, the theme of sexual power is discussed. How sex rules wives. How, this suggestion that a man is no more strong makes a woman so happy in this traditional African society. She feels that now she is victorious. She has won the race. Can you imagine? This takes us to the third part of the play, which is night. Morning, noon, night. It is late evening at the village square. Siddhi continues to admire her photographs in the magazine. Sadiku enters, pulls out a carved figure of Baroka and laughs. She dances around his husband's statue, chanting, "Take warning, my masters, we'll scotch you in the end," which means we'll defeat you in the end. Sadiku whispers about Baroka's lost manhood in Siddhi's ears. She tells Siddhi everything. "Oh, good, you said no to Baroka. Oh, he cannot be a father anymore." This news overjoys Siddhi, and she decides to go to the feast. Remember, in the noon, Sadiku had told her that you can come for feast to our house in the night. She decides to go for this feast and meet Baroka. Why? To taunt him. Location, Baroka's house. Baroka greets Siddhi. There are no servants that day in Baroka's house because they have taken a weekly off. Basically, because of this, little bit of modernization entering, even the servants want a day off. They have formed their unions. Baroka does not like it. He does not want to accept it, that how can servants take an off? So basically, Baroka and Siddhi are here alone in their house. Siddhi talks to one of the wife and how she's disappointed with her husband lately. Okay, such things. In the room, Baroka and Siddhi are alone. They have an elaborate conversation about topics like wrestling, old age, servants' unions, envelopes, stamps, to which Baroka asks, "Do you know what is a stamp?" And Siddhi replies, "It is a tax on talking with paper." Baroka shares his plan to create a postal system for the village with stamps featuring Siddhi's photographs on them. Can you imagine? Is he coaxing her? Is he, trying to cajole her that be close to me? I'm going to make stamps with your photographs on that stamps. Siddhi is amazed. She drowns herself in this imaginary dream. While Baroka says, quote, "I do not hate progress, only its nature, which makes all roofs and faces look like the same." Automation, right? Here, as I told you, tradition versus modernity. Basically, he's not against modernization, but he wants to do it at his own pace, at his own will. Okay, who? Baroka. After this, he praises Siddhi's intelligence and insists that the old and the new must embrace each other. As Siddhi falls onto his shoulder, Siddhi is giving up. So now here Baroka says something, quote, "The old must flow into the new, Siddhi, not blind itself or stand foolishly apart. A girl like you must inherit miracles which age alone reveals." Following this, what happens? The climax of the story, Baroka rapes Siddhi. Of course, Baroka is a man. He's a fox. He was fooling everyone. Location, Market Square. Lakune and Sadiku are waiting for Siddhi's return. She returns, but she is filled with tears. She reveals that she is no longer a virgin and that Baroka tricked all these women. Although angry, Lakune says that he still wants to marry Siddhi. And listen to the lines of Lakune. "Dear Siddhi, we shall forget the past. This great misfortune touches not the treasury of my love. But you will agree it is only fair that we forget the bride price totally, since you no longer can be called a maid. Oh, the theme is selfishness and hypocrisy. This man, even at this time, is thinking about not paying the bride price. He's not asking Siddhi, oh, how are you? What happened? He's saying, marry me, but I will not pay you the money. Siddhi runs away. Lakune tells Sadiku to follow her. Sadiku returns and tells Lakune that Siddhi is dressing herself like a bride already. Lakune says, oh God, marriage so fast. I was wooing her all this time, and look at her. Now she wants to marry me so fast. Lakune is unsure. He does not want to get married so fast, so immediately. Siddhi enters the square all dressed up like a bride. She is followed by the dancers. The music is playing. She looks gorgeous and marvelous in the bride attire. She goes to Lakune and gives him the magazine and invites him for her wedding. She says to Lakune, while handing over the magazine, a present from Siddhi. I tried to tear it up, but my fingers were too frail, too weak. Listening to this, Lakune laughs and says, obviously, I'm coming to the wedding. I am the groom. Why are you inviting me? To which Siddhi laughs and says, I cannot marry you after sleeping with Baroka. Did you understand? She begins to walk towards Baroka's house, and the dance and the music begins. Siddhi is going to marry Baroka. How does the novel end? In the procession, this music and dance which is playing along the road, Lakune observes a young girl who is dancing boldly, suggestively, moving here and there, staring at Lakune. Within no time, Lakune moves close to this girl, and his chase for a new, modern wife begins. And here we are done with The Lion and the Jewel by Wole Soyinka. How was it? Did you like it? Lovely stories, right? Even I want to be an author someday. We all can be authors. I feel we all are storytellers, right? It is just a matter of time and correct opportunity and correct belief in ourselves. Enjoy these stories. They are awesome. Enjoy African literature as we are traveling on this journey together with Vallath. This is Hina from Team Vallath. Take very good care of yourself and subscribe to our channel if you haven't. Of course, share it with our friends and your friends and relatives. Thank you so much. Bye-bye.